because the straps are much thicker than on the other dress.
Later, he seems to be really thoughtful with his designs as well. You can see like even the way that I'm standing with this skirt.
It is very comfortable. The class that we're testing out today with this top is ballet.
Hey guys, so for today's video, I thought it would be really fun to look at a couple of things that I have purchased and whether I think they're actually worth your money, starting with the sweater that I'm wearing right now. If you are thinking about getting maybe these specific pieces, this can give you a better idea of what to expect, so you have more information and can decide if you truly want to spend your money on these items and if you think they are worth it for you. By no means is this an encouragement of saying, hey, you should definitely get these. You definitely need these in your wardrobe, because you do not. And it's not that often, I promise, that I buy things online. I also usually really prefer shopping in person. If I could have gone to a physical store and tried these items on first, then I would have. But because I'm in Vienna and these brands are located in the States and Canada, it really wasn't possible for me to try it on beforehand, so I did take the risk of buying it online. The things that I'm going to cover for every single item is why I bought it in the first place, how much it cost me, including taxes and shipping, how long it took to arrive. This might not be important for people who are living in the States or Canada, but maybe for people who are living in Europe or elsewhere in the world, this would be good to know. And then my general impressions of the product, the fabric composition, how it feels, how flattering it is, if I would buy it again, and whether I think these things are worth your money or not. Starting with this sweater. This is from a brand called Yi Tai. I hope I am saying that correctly. And I came across this brand on Instagram. These are hand embroidered sweaters. And I've also been noticing that the things in my wardrobe have been getting a little, not basic, but basic. And so I thought it would just be very cool to have something so unique and so loud almost. You know, it has all this cool stitching on it. It's a very unique design. I got it in the size medium and I paid 136 euros and 91 cents for the sweater. The product that I got is called the Fine China sweater. It retails at 140 euros. This was on sale because I think it was a new design, so I had to pre-order it. I got a 10% discount, so instead of 139.95, I got 13.99 off, but that was pretty much negated by the shipping because shipping cost me 10.95, so in total 136 euros and 91 cents. It definitely took a while to arrive, but that's also because I did pre-order it. I ordered it on the 24th of October. They shipped it on the 25th of November. And from when it was shipped on the 25th of November, it arrived on the 3rd of December. So it took about a week. And I got it in medium because the models on the website were wearing it in medium as well. It is definitely oversized. I'll tell you guys a little bit about the feel and the fabric composition, and then we'll try it on and I'll show you how I style it at the moment. This is 100% cotton. It's also made in China, but as we all know, the country isn't really indicative of quality anymore. So I'm not really fussed about the fact that this is made in China. I'm not sure if it was actually shipped from the States or it was shipped direct to China, or if they shipped it first from the factory in China to maybe a fulfillment center in the States to like check for quality, whatever, before they then ship it worldwide. Not sure about that. Either way, this sweater traveled a long way to get here. I also kept the little tags that it came in just so I could show you guys. So it does come with this tag that's, you know, on the sweater, and it comes with a little card as well, which they just have some nice words on it. So this one says, "Thank you for your support. Each piece is designed with care and created in limited numbers, and I'm grateful for your patience during the pre-order process. Your willingness to wait allows me to craft thoughtfully, not rushed, so that what you receive feels truly special. I'm deeply thankful that you've chosen to be a part of this journey and for believing in my work and in thoughtful design." Okay, so these are the jeans that I've been pairing with this sweater. I feel like the jeans have a really cool barrel leg cut to them, so they're also really, really comfortable. This isn't gonna earn me any fashion points, but I've usually just been wearing my massive winter coat over this. It goes down to about here and looks like a big green sleeping bag, so it's definitely not stylish. If I wanted to style this, I would wear it with this jacket, which if any of you guys have seen my previous France videos, I thrifted this while I was in France earlier this year and I changed the buttons on them. The entire look is really oversized. So then this is what the whole thing looks like, but you guys can see that it is pretty long for a sweater. I'd be really happy with that length, but this is also fine. It's just a very specific aesthetic. Maybe there is a better way to do like a half tuck. If there is, let me know in the comments, please. Okay, so the next item that we're talking about is the satin skirt from Jennifer Wang. If you guys don't yet know who Jennifer Wang is, I think her 9 to 5 is as a pharmacist, but her whole channel is about reviewing pieces from clothing brands and seeing if they are worth your money or not. So she talks a lot about material composition. She'll go into a store like Reformation and look at a couple of pieces and point out, you know, what's good, what's bad, like the stitching, the material composition, and it's been really, really helpful in also helping me learn what is important to look look out for when selecting pieces for yourself. So it's very educational and I get a lot of value from that channel. So when she said that she was starting her own label, I was super curious to see what she would come out with. I think so far she's only come out with a couple of pieces. Just let me check. So at the time of filming this video, it's the end of 2025. She has exactly 6 items, 2 t-shirts, a strapless form-fitting top, linen pants, a linen shirt as well, and this skirt. This is called the Gloss Maxi skirt. These are the pictures that they've posted on the website as well, so you can see the fit and how it drapes. They have it from size extra small to extra large. I think her whole reason for creating this skirt was that it's so difficult to find a nice satin skirt that is actually snag proof or snag resistant. I have been wanting some kind of satin silky maxi skirt for the longest time. So when she finally came out with this, I was like, okay, let me get it, because I also trust her as a creator. I like the advice that she gives out. So I wanted to also support her as a creator instead of looking for a satin skirt from like Zara or H&M or something. So I did buy this. It cost, what? Is it more expensive now? Hang on.
Bruh.
Oh my God, you guys, it's so expensive now. What the heck? For reference, when I ordered this, I think it's because I also pre-ordered this, so maybe that's why it was also cheaper. Definitely not the same price anymore when I pre-ordered it. The skirt itself was 86.95 euros. Shipping was 6.95. Taxes, because this was coming from Canada, I believe, were 18.78 euros. So I paid in total 112.68 euros. Now the website says that the skirt retails for 125.95 euros, which is a far cry from the 86.95 euros that I paid for it. Let's just quickly go to checkout and see if they've now decided to include shipping and taxes in the total cost, because that would bring it closer to the total price. Maybe they just decided to raise the price, but include shipping and taxes in it. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, that's ridiculous. Now the skirt, just the skirt, retails for 125.95 euros. Shipping, instead of 6.95, is now 18.95. This is all in euros. And now taxes, instead of the previous 18.78 euros, now taxes is 28.98, which means if you were having this skirt shipped to Austria, just this skirt is going to cost you 173.88 euros.
Whoa.
I paid 112 euros and 68 cents. Like, this is a crazy price difference. I ordered this on the 10th of July. It was shipped on the 29th of July. From shipping to arrival, it did take, I want to say a week and a half, but I can't find the exact date anymore. When it arrived, immediately I enjoyed how soft and how smooth this was. I have worn this several times since it has arrived, so I can also tell you how it's worn over time. This is 85% Naya acetate and 15% polyester. It says cool iron if necessary, which to me gives the impression that it normally shouldn't be necessary to iron it, but if it is, then you can on a cool setting. So I expected it to be a little more wrinkle resistant than it was. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so first of all, you can already tell that there are wrinkles in the skirt. I don't know if it's super clear from the camera angle, but there are some quite obvious wrinkles here, up here as well. Again, because it's black, it's a little bit harder to tell, but they are there. And if you are kind of a stickler for having a smooth ironed presentation, especially with materials like this that obviously and easily show the wrinkles, you're gonna have to iron this. Maybe it has something to do with the water hardness as well, because the water in Vienna can be a little bit on the hard side sometimes, so maybe that makes it more prone to wrinkling. But I find that I do have to iron this skirt every time I wash it. I do like the fact that it's machine washable, like that's really good. That's never caused me any issues, but I don't wear the skirt unless I have ironed it, because I think that the wrinkles that show up on the skirt are a little bit too much, in my opinion. Now let's look at the shape of the skirt. You can see that they've done a very deliberate like bell shape here. So it does have an obvious kind of curve where it goes out and then in again and does like a little flare to the outside. So it's not just a straight cut skirt. They have added a certain shape to it. Unfortunately for me, I don't think the shape is very flattering on me. I would have personally really preferred it if it had been a straight cut like this. You can tell a little bit in the photos on the website that it does have a bit of a bell shape flare to it. So it wasn't a total surprise. I just didn't know how it was going to look on. To be honest, I find the skirt very difficult to style. It has a really nice swish to it. You can clearly see where the flare is because of where it flares out when I move. In terms of movement, it is very comfortable. Like I can move relatively freely. You know, this isn't an issue. Like up to the side, to the back, whatever you want. No issue actually. Feel-wise, very smooth, very silky. However, I personally do not think that this specific in-out flare shape is that flattering on me. Again, I would have preferred it if it were just straight. And there's something about, I truly cannot tell what it is, something about the way they cut the top part. The waistband fits really nicely, but then the material over top is a little bit on the looser side and it hasn't, I don't know, flared out right away, and the way that it sits on my hips and my butt simultaneously makes my belly pooch look poochier than usual. And also, it makes my butt look really flat. There's all this extra material kind of here in the back that makes it look like my back goes straight into my butt and that there isn't any kind of conceivable butt there, when I swear to God there is. So if I were to pull the material inwards, this is what it would look like if it were form-fitting. But because of the way the material drapes, all of a sudden just like my whole butt just disappears. Maybe for the summer this would work. This is also just another t-shirt from Uniqlo that normally goes until here, but then that looks kind of funny because then the shirt goes straight into on top of the skirt, which like I'm not 100% sure about. But I guess what you could do if it were summer, then you could do this thing, which I have seen on TikTok before, but I haven't tried, which is where you like tuck your shirt into your sports bra and turn it into kind of a crop top moment. I guess that could work. Let me grab some shoes. Okay, so we have two shoe options. So option one, some regular black boots. That's low-key looks like I'm going to a funeral if it weren't for the exposed midriff. Or we have these white cowboy boots from Free People, which might be one of the most uncomfortable shoes that I've ever worn, but I love the way they look. I don't know what I would do because I don't know enough about lines in fashion to know how I would change this garment. I just know that I would like to change it in some way to kind of just fit my body and my contours a little better, but this is how it looks. Could definitely be a fun one in like the spring or in the fall. In the winter, I'm wearing my sleeping bag jacket anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Do I think it's worth it? At the price that I paid, which was a little bit over 100 euros. I am okay with how much I paid for the skirt, but for what it is currently retailing at, especially with the taxes and the shipping and everything, where you're almost ending up at 175 euros, that I think is way too much. And I would definitely not pay that much for this skirt. Even the price that I paid for it, which was a total of 112 euros. Now that I've had the skirt and I've worn it already several times, and I do generally like it, I wouldn't go through the faff of returning it for my money back. But if I had gone to a store and tried this on in person and knew that I would have to pay 112 euros for it, I don't think I would have gotten it. But now that I have it, I do like it, and I will continue to wear it, and I will continue to like find ways to style it. If you guys have any tips, please leave them in the comments. Your girl needs help. I don't know what I'm doing. Last thing that we are going to be reviewing is a bunch of different pieces from Popflex. Popflex is an activewear brand that was started by Cassie Ho. She was or is known for her personal YouTube channel, Blogilates, where she was doing like exercise videos, and then she started designing her own pieces. Is, as far as I can tell, a very popular brand. You guys might also know it from this pirouette skirt in lilac that Taylor Swift ended up wearing, and it was a whole thing. I've been wanting to get something from Popflex for the longest time because if you guys haven't seen Cassie's channel, she designs all of the pieces herself. As far as I can see, her designs just look amazing, like very well thought out. It's like pocket freaking galore in almost every single piece. Apparently very comfortable, very high quality. They just look really good as well. So I was really curious to get a couple of her pieces and see if they lived up to the hype. So I ordered a bunch of stuff. Low-key, I'm embarrassed to admit how much I spent on this. And keep in mind as well, I bought this during a sale. So when I calculated it all, because some things were 20% off, some things were 40% off, they averaged out to 29% off in total. So if I hadn't bought these things on sale, it would have been way more expensive. I bought 3 dresses. The Pirouette baby doll dress in 2 different colors. I got it in Meadow and in Tutu Pink. Then I got the Tiebreaker super dress in Crimson, the Refine long sleeve top in Rose Clay, the corset bra in Crimson, and the crisscross hourglass leggings in Black. Now, 6 pieces. So the total of just the clothes without shipping that I paid was 360 euros and 10 cents, plus 15 euros for shipping, so 381 euros and 10 cents. That averages out to 63 euros per piece. This is with a essentially 29% discount. There was actually an issue with shipping the first time that I ordered it because basically the way that some addresses in Austria work, first of all, there are no names on the doors. I think because of privacy reasons, I just have my door number here as well as in my mailbox downstairs. It only says like door number 17, but it doesn't have my last name on it. So if the door number is missing from the shipping label, then the delivery people can't just look at the last name and then figure it out from that. And so what happened was they had left the door number off the shipping label. So it literally just said like Miller Street 7, building number 2, door. Just said door, but it didn't say the door number. And therefore they couldn't deliver it to me. So I contacted Popflex, I contacted Passport, which is their mail carrier partner, and then also tried to contact the local carrier. But basically, as far as I can tell, they tried to deliver it once, saw that the address was incomplete, and then immediately already started the process to ship it all the way back to the States. And there was literally nothing that I could do. So I contacted Popflex. I was like, hey, could you guys please ship it again? And they said that unfortunately they could not reship international items and that I would have to just order it again. But then at that point, the sale was over. And if I had ordered all the exact same items again, I would have to pay full price for all of them, which would have cost me 527 euros and 70 cents, which was a price difference of 146 euros and 60 cents. I went back and forth with them a little bit about it and be like, look, I would really appreciate it if you could please give me some kind of one-time use discount code so I can order the exact same thing, but pay the price that I originally paid for it. So the person that I was talking to was so kind and did give me a discount code for that amount so that I could pay pretty much the same amount that I did before. I think in the end, because of the thing with shipping, I ended up paying 5 euros more than previously, but still very, very close to my original amount. Once I did that, it was fulfilled within 2 weeks and arrived like a week and a half after that. I did actually do a full try on and test out and use them at different exercise classes. So we're gonna go back in time a little bit and look at that. And then we'll come back here and see if I think they were worth the money.
Okay, so these are the crisscross wide flare leggings. I do really like the way it flares. I feel like she did a really good job of making the flare start in the right place. So it's not, you know, not too much, not too little. I think it's actually perfect the way that she did it. The bra is super comfortable as well. And the fit is great. So I think because of the crisscross, it's really comfortable. So it does kind of snatch you in, but it doesn't create that roll like when leggings are just too tight and the thing goes straight across like this. So it fits really well. I'm really happy about that. The sports bra I also like is so comfortable. And because the straps are so wide, it really does help avoid this armpit pillow situation that you get sometimes. The class that we're going to be doing today is a gymnastics class. I haven't done gymnastics in about 18 years, but what we are going to be testing out basically are these leggings and the sports bra just to see how it holds up with that kind of activity. The class that we're testing out today with this top is ballet. We're not running late, but if we don't make moves, then we'll be running late. And this is going to be my second ballet class ever since I was maybe 7 years old. I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but we're just going to see how it moves, how it feels throughout the class, and then I will report back. So guys, we are back from the ballet class now. It held up really well. I felt very comfortable, very uninhibited as well. It didn't cause me any issues. The only thing that I noticed is that, I don't know if you can tell, but the way that the outer part sits here, it does look like it's a little bit wavy at the very bottom, which I can't tell if it's a stylish choice or if it's supposed to be like that. Maybe that's just the way they wanted it to fall. Maybe not, I don't know. But aside from that, super, super comfortable. It does feel a bit second skin-like in a good way. So I really liked using this. The only thing that I will say is that because of the color, it does show sweat stains. So just for reference, so like if I put some water here, you can see it does create a noticeable color difference that you wouldn't perhaps get with black or with white. But aside from that, if it doesn't bother you, then this would be a great option for something like ballet or bar, Pilates. Honestly, anything where you need to move around a lot, where arm mobility is important, because there's no restriction of movement at all. Okay, so the piece that we are testing in today's class is going to be this dress. We're going to another ballet class today, and this does just look like the perfect dress outfit to be wearing. As we've seen before, it does have the shorts on under the dress with the pockets, so it should be very easy to move around. It's very twirly, which I like. Very comfortable. I kind of wish that this would be a little higher because I do feel a little bit exposed boob-wise, even though there's no danger of like popping out. I mean, that's never a danger with me, let's be real. Personally, I think I would have enjoyed if it were slightly higher, maybe just a touch here on the boob area and not like completely straight. But in terms of comfort, it's really good. Even though the straps are thin, they feel very strong and stable. It might feel differently for you if you have bigger boobs. So, you know, your mileage may vary, but it does feel very comfortable. The entire, bodysuit underneath also feels very comfortable. No complaints there. I can move around really easily. Okay, interesting. If I raise my arms and lean back really hard, like really, really hard, I have to really try here. But if I lean back hard enough, I am afraid that like the very top of a nipple is gonna peek out. I mean, we're getting close to the danger zone, but it's actually still okay. We're gonna go to the class. We'll see how the dress fares. I will report back. Okay, so I'm back from the ballet class and I have a couple of things that I wanted to point out that I noticed while we were doing the class. Because of what I mentioned before, that my upper chest and my upper back as well is very exposed. So I felt really uncomfortable in the first half of the class. And the first half of the class, I was using this. Aside from that, I also noticed that because of all the leg work that we do, there's a lot of lifts to the front, to the side, kind of just moving your leg around like this to the back. Your leg's going all over the place, which just means the shorts part of this dress were constantly like, you can see riding up like this, and I would always have to just like quickly pull them down. Otherwise it felt a little bit diapery. Another thing that I noticed was at the end when we were doing jumps, they're not huge jumps, but it's a lot of jumping practice where you just like go up and down. Your arms are either like this or like this, whatever. But because the skirt is so flouncy, it does kind of bounce a lot as well with you as you're doing the jumps. The whole skirt, like not just the bottom, because if the skirt only started at the bottom, it would be like this, and it would make such a big difference. But because this whole thing is, like one big skirt, it's very bouncy, when you're jumping up, it looks like this, and it's a little bit distracting. Another thing as well, at the end of the class, we were doing a couple of turns. It does look very nice, It looks great. It looks, very swooshy. I really like the way the materials falls. But for the class specifically, I felt a little bit conspicuous. It might not bother you, but for me, I would have preferred it if it had a little less horizontal movement to it. I also did notice that I kept having to constantly pull it up. And I didn't want to tighten the straps anymore because I thought they might just dig into my shoulders and be a little uncomfortable. Maybe a thicker strap would be better so that you can also make it tighter so that it can give you more support from the strap specifically. Because maybe personally, just the way my body is shaped, it would have been more helpful for this entire thing to be maybe a little bit tighter right on the top half so that it would hold everything in place a little bit better. Maybe an XS would have been better up top and then an S at the bottom, but obviously that's not how dress sizes work. So for this, I really do like the way it looks, the way it drapes. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is very, very comfortable. But to be honest, I think I would save this for something more casual. And I think this will get a lot more wear in the summer when I can just wear it as kind of an athleisure. Not even a yoga class, because if you're doing downward dog, I think the skirt would just fall into your face. Actually, let's just test this out. Okay. Upward dog, downward dog. Yeah, I don't know about this. If you want a really comfortable dress that you would just use for going out and stuff, and you would buy this for style purposes, then I would say yes, go for it. But in terms of exercise gear, I don't think I would purchase this again, but I will still wear it in other situations, just not for exercise. This is the next dress. The class that we're doing today is ballet again. Already off the bat, I feel a lot more comfortable in this dress, maybe because the silhouette is a little bit sportier. The cleavage comes up a bit higher, so I feel much safer. There's no risk of anything showing that's not supposed to, which is good. In terms of the material, it does feel very comfortable, and like with everything else, it has basically the jumpsuit underneath it. So let me just pull this up properly so you guys see what I mean. This goes all the way up to the top of the dress. So you can pull it up and then you can see this is where it connects when you pull the dress back down. Very comfortable, fits, I think, really nicely. It does have pockets on both sides. And the pockets are really roomy, actually. We got our trusty giant water bottle here. Let's see how far this goes. I mean, okay, nobody is actually going to do this, but you genuinely could fit an entire Stanley into the pockets. This is very impressive. And it doesn't seem to have stretched the material out or anything. Let's do it on the other side as well so you can see. For reference, this is a regular size Stanley tumbler and it is 30 ounces. And this is how it fits. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I leave the dress to the side, it's kind of a look. Oh, are you dehydrated? Did you need some water? I could genuinely walk around like this in terms of comfort. It doesn't hurt my hip or anything. I mean, again, nobody's actually gonna walk around like this, but you could, and you'd be comfortable doing so. So I'm noticing with this material is that it does seem to be a bit more on the wrinkly side. So I don't know if you can tell by the skirt. I mean, you know, this hasn't been ironed, but I feel like sports or athleisure stuff is not something that you should have to iron to make it look really good. So that is only one thing that I will note. I think if you want it to look really nice and flat or smooth, then you might need to go in with an iron at some point. But aside from that, very, very comfortable. So far, I don't feel any hindrances in my movement. I don't expect that I'll feel any hindrances in my movement. So let's go to the class and see how it performs. Okay, but it is 12 degrees outside, so we're gonna have to change. Right, now we're ready. I had a massive lunch, so the elastic in this dress is definitely working overtime. So I look a little bit ridiculous right now, but this is genuinely how I started off the class because I wanted to start off as warm as possible in the class, and then as the class progressed and my body started heating up, then we started getting rid of some of these layers. By the way, these pants are from Uniqlo. I normally just wear them for lounging around the house because they are so comfortable. After having done the class, I can report back that the dress did very well. I didn't do as well, but the dress was really comfortable because the straps are much thicker than on the other dress. It felt much safer and there was nothing like digging into my skin. It felt like a much more seamless and supportive fit than the Pirouette dress. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but when I put my jacket over my dress, the skirt got all kind of like crinkled up under the jacket, and then you can see those wrinkles here as well. So it's not super obvious, but you can tell, for example, this part right here, a bit wrinkly, this part here also like it holds the wrinkle. Aside from that, super comfortable. So for future, I will be wearing this dress again, absolutely, for ballet class and possibly for something else as well. Like if I go play tennis or padel. Another thing I will say though, is if you wear this dress above tights like this, it is a bit of a struggle to pull the dress over the tights. You know, they kind of hold on to each other a little bit, so it doesn't glide on top of the tights when you're putting on the dress, if that makes any sense. And that can make it a little bit difficult, especially if you need to like quickly run to the bathroom, as is the case with onesies. You already have to pull the entire thing down to go to the bathroom. And with this as well, it'll just take you an extra, I don't know, 20 seconds of tugging here and tugging there to get the whole thing back on because of the tights. You know, if you're not wearing tights, it's much less of a problem. And I think I saw a video of the founder of Bloggy Lotties showing people how stretchy it was that you didn't even need to pull down the dress or the onesie to go to the bathroom, because she was saying that these shorts for the onesie are so stretchy that you essentially wouldn't need to, so that you could kind of just pull it to the side. So let's see. Interesting. It looks like that would actually work. The material is stretchy enough that you could grab the whole thing up and then like pull it to the side. So you could conceive like it could work. I can see how it would work. It's not going to work with ballet tights again because the tights go up until here. You'll have to, that's a little bit too complicated. But if you're wearing this dress without tights, then I could see that being a completely acceptable workaround. So verdict, I do really like it. I will absolutely wear it again. And if I were to go back in time, then I would purchase this again.
So now that you guys have seen the detailed breakdown of the specific PopFlex items that I got, Do I think they were worth it? Some of them yes, some of them no. The ones that I think were absolutely worth it because I do wear it all the time are the Refine long sleeve top, the corset bra, and the crisscross leggings. I think my favorite thing out of everything that I got from PopFlex, which was unexpected, was the Refine long sleeve top. It's just so comfortable. The way that it sits, the feel of it and everything is just so flattering. I love that piece so much, and I really want to repurchase those tops in more colors. I definitely want it in white and in black as well. The only thing with that specific color, and maybe some of the other colors that are not white or black, is that it does show sweat quite easily. There's obviously nothing wrong with sweating, but having like armpit sweat stains does make me a little bit self-conscious. So that is something to keep in mind if you are wanting to get colors. The corset bra is also incredibly comfortable, so supportive as well. For reference, I'm around a 32B, 34B, something like that. If your bust size or cup size is a lot larger than mine, this is something to keep in mind. I don't know how the support is for those cup sizes, but for me, I really like this corset bra. It makes me feel very safe. It's super comfortable. The fact that the straps are so wide as well that you can avoid the little extra like armpit skin that some people worry about sometimes. That also for me is 100% worth it. The leggings, I do find them really comfortable. Sometimes I'm not sure if I would have preferred the regular cut instead of the crisscross cut, but it is incredibly comfortable. I really like wearing it to Pilates or also just out and about. I do like the flare and everything. Amazing. For the dresses, so far I have only worn the Pirouette baby doll dress in pink to a ballet class. I haven't even worn the one in the color pattern Meadow yet, because after wearing the pink one, for me, it was a little bit too much for an actual exercise class. You know, if you're having like an active day running errands or something, you could pair it really nicely with sneakers. Or I have seen on the website as well that they've paired it with really similar boots to the cowboy boots that I have, like these white ones from Free People. That could be a really cute look for the summer, but I did also make these purchases in the fall, so I haven't had the opportunity to style it in kind of a summer way. So I'm still waiting to see how that's going to be. I also would have really liked the straps on those dresses to be thicker. I still do think that they're so incredibly cute. I am just having a little bit of trouble styling them, and for the amount that they cost, I don't know that I would purchase them again. And the last one, the Tiebreaker Super Dress. Actually, when that dress arrived, I really wasn't sure about the material because it does have this kind of dry, almost papery feel to it. I really like the way that that dress specifically performs. It's very comfortable. I felt really good in it, very supported. The straps are great, the fit and everything is great. And I do think for me, that was worth the money. But again, it is pretty pricey at $71.36, which was my sale price. Even more expensive if you pay full retail for it. It might be worth it to you, it might not be. Okay, so those are all the things that I wanted to show you guys and review for you guys. I'm doing this based on my own vibes. What is worth it to me might not be worth it to you. So please keep in mind that we are all different. We all have different priorities and different gaps in our wardrobe that we would like to fill. So just because I say, yes, 1000% this was worth it for me, does not mean that you need to run out and get the same thing. So starting again with the sweater, would I rather have this sweater or 136 euros and 91 cents? I would rather have this sweater. Just because for me, it's so unique. I truly do not have anything like this in my wardrobe. And I love the detail and the amount of effort that went into creating this piece. I also love that it is from a creator. He seems to be really thoughtful with his designs as well. I'm happy with the material composition, the fact that it's 100% cotton, and the stitching, the embroidery, the patches and everything. It's just so beautiful. So it's definitely expensive, but to me, the detail in this, the craftsmanship, I think it's beautiful, worth the money. Next item, the satin skirt from Jennifer Wang. Would I rather have 112 euros or this skirt? By a hair, I would rather have this skirt, even though I know I whined about the fit a little bit. But I think that's also more because I haven't seen a really good alternative. Like if I knew, for example, that another brand had a skirt made out of the exact same material, but just a slightly more flattering cut for the same amount of money, then I would switch over. As things stand, however, I would still rather have this skirt than 112 euros. If we're looking at the new price point of this skirt, which is, as we've said before, just for the skirt, 125 euros, plus shipping, plus taxes, it comes closer to 175 euros. If that's how much the skirt was, then I would, without hesitation, rather have that amount in cash than have the skirt. I do not think that it is worth paying that much money for this skirt. Again, it might be different for you. Maybe it's much more flattering on you. Maybe you just like it a lot more and the skirt is a really good decision for you. For me personally, at $175, it definitely would not be worth the money. At $112.68, it's still worth the money, but not by a huge amount. For the items from Popflex, I am only going to be talking about the price that I paid for them, i.e. the sale price. And we're not going to be including shipping in this because it was divided among all 6 items. So the crisscross hourglass leggings, I paid 60 euros for them. I would rather have the leggings. They're incredibly comfortable and flattering to me. Very happy with that purchase, totally worth the money. Same with the corset bra, I paid $33.95 for those. I would rather have the bra than that money in cash. Same with the refined long sleeve top. That one cost me $25.46. Again, these are all euros. Cost me $25.46. I would rather have the top than the cash. For the Pirouette baby doll dress, both in tutu pink and in meadow, just as it stands currently, because I have barely gotten any wear out of them, it might change come the summer months and I'll find different ways to style it or different occasions for which I can wear them. But currently, both those dresses, I paid 87 euros and 51 cents for each dress. I would rather have the cash. And the last one, the Tiebreaker super dress in crimson, I paid 71 euros and 36 cents for that one. That one's like right on the edge of me saying maybe not worth it anymore because it is a pretty penny to pay for a sports dress. However, since I don't really have any sports dresses and I have been wanting a dress like that for a really, really long time, and I generally really enjoy that piece, for me, I would rather have the dress than the cash, which is 71.36. But at full price, which currently seems to be $83.95, I wouldn't pay full price for that dress. And I also want to say, you guys, this video is not for me to be like, oh, you know, you must absolutely get this. It's the most amazing thing ever. You need this in your wardrobe, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Because this is the thing as well. We buy so many things day to day, and when they're one-off purchases, even for coffee or for lunch, or, you know, when I bought this, they were all at different points in time. It's not like I made all these purchases in one day and saw how much I spent, which, by the way, is 630 euros and 69 cents. Low-key, I'm like, do I even want to share the fact that I spent all this money just on clothes? It sounds so silly to say. Even though some of these items do bring me a lot of joy when I wear them, by no means are they necessary for day-to-day life or survival. This is more to share with you guys what my actual impression was of these things. So whatever is important to you, continue to be mindful, look at these items with a critical lens. I hope that what I have shown you guys here and shared with you in terms of where I see the value in these items and where maybe I think it's not worth it, I hope it's been informative. I hope it's been helpful for you. And if you have any questions or comments, then feel free to leave them down below. If you've watched until here, thank you so much. Do you guys still do this heart? Or do you do this now? Or do you do this? Because everybody does something different. And I feel like it's very millennial to still be using this heart, but I love it. That is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have an amazing day.